14 degrees. That is how cold it will be in Nashville, Tennessee this Wednesday morning. Is your city about to experience the longest stretch of below freezing temperatures in over a decade? Right now, 847,000 people are sitting in homes with no power, temperatures in the single digits, and what's barreling toward us this weekend could make this entire situation even more dangerous. Stay with me for the next 30 seconds, because I'm about to show you the exact timing of when the next Arctic blast hits your specific city. And trust me, you need to know this information. Drop your city in the comments right now, and I'll give you personalized timing in tomorrow's update. Seriously, comment your location below. I'm reading every single one, and I want to make sure you're prepared for what's coming. All right, let me deliver on that promise immediately. Atlanta, you're looking at Friday night into Saturday morning for the next big temperature drop. Chicago, this hits you late Thursday. Dallas, Friday morning you're waking up to 16 degrees. Miami, even you guys could see temperatures flirting with the upper 30s by Sunday morning. Boston, you've still got 2 feet of snow on the ground, and more is coming Tuesday. Nashville, you might not see above freezing until February 2nd. Let me say that again. Nashville might not get above 32 degrees for another week. Now here's where things get really interesting. We just came through this massive winter storm, right? 21 people confirmed dead across 14 states. More than 19,000 flights canceled. Sunday was one of the worst travel days since the pandemic. This storm stretched 2,300 miles wide at its peak. 230 million Americans under weather alerts at the same time, which is an actual record. But here's what nobody is talking about. That pattern we've been tracking, it's not done. Not even close. Let me show you what's happening with these temperatures first, because honestly, this is the immediate concern for a lot of you. Tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, it's going to be brutally cold. Shreveport, Louisiana, you're looking at 16 degrees. Dallas, 16 degrees. Up in Mississippi, Oxford to Greenwood, we're talking 13 to 16 degrees. Nashville, you're going to be lucky to make it up past 5 degrees. 5 degrees in Nashville. Clarksville, 7 degrees. Jackson, Tennessee, 10 degrees. Over in my hometown area, we're looking at 9 or 10 degrees. Lexington, Kentucky, 5 degrees. Louisville, 7 degrees. And here's the kicker. It's actually going to be colder in Kentucky and Tennessee than it will be way up in Iowa and Nebraska. Why? Because we have so much snow on the ground reflecting all that solar radiation right back into space. That snowpack is acting like a giant refrigerator. Wait until you see what happened in the Northeast. We definitely overperformed up there. There are a lot of people sitting with more than 20 inches of snow on the ground right now. The entire state of Pennsylvania got absolutely hammered. Northern New Jersey, New York City, up into Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. We talked about Boston potentially getting 2 feet of snow. We're this close. By the end of today, because of the residual snow squalls that are still moving through, we might actually exceed that 2-foot mark. Buffalo, you guys know what's coming. 9 degrees tomorrow morning up in upstate New York. Get ready for that cold. And of course, it's going to be very cold in the northern plains because this is where all that Arctic air is coming from. It's all streaming down from Canada through Bismarck, through Minneapolis, through Sioux Falls. And it's not done yet. We've got more cold coming. Stick with me because at minute 5, I'm showing you the one region that could actually break all-time cold records, and it's not where you think. This is one of those situations where it's not going to really warm up that much. Nashville, you might get a little bit above freezing during the day on Tuesday, but then you go right back down to like 15 degrees for Wednesday morning. During the day Wednesday, you might make it up past freezing again, but look at this. I'm looking at the forecast for Nashville right now, and we still haven't had an above freezing temperature, and I'm all the way out on February 2nd. It might be a long time before we warm up at all. And I'm not just talking about Nashville. I'm talking about the entire Tennessee Valley, the Ohio Valley, and of course the Great Lakes region up into the Northeast. We are locked into this pattern. Now, before I forget to mention this, we're going to have some serious warmth down in the Southwest. You guys are on the opposite side of this ridge trough pattern. So get ready for mid-70s pretty much constantly, maybe even reaching 80 degrees from Los Angeles down to Tucson. Phoenix, you're looking at beautiful weather. San Diego, same thing. And once again, this pattern is going nowhere anytime soon. We're going to have much below average temperatures in the entire southeast through 10 days from now. We could be well into the beginning of February and still be talking about below average temperatures all the way down to the southern part of Florida, but especially in Alabama, especially in the Carolinas, up into the mid-Atlantic, and we're going to continue to be warmer than average in the west. Everybody west of the Rockies is going to be having fun in the sun pretty much. All right, let's jump into what we can expect as we go into the future outside of just temperatures. It's going to be cold. We know that. But what happens with the cold? Are we going to get another storm? Are we going to get anything else happening? Unfortunately, we're definitely going to have another clipper coming through the Great Lakes here as we go into Tuesday. That's going to bring even more snow to the northeast. It's not going to be significant for most places, but some areas will pick up a couple of inches. And it's also going to turn on the lake effect snow machines again for western Michigan, northeast Ohio, northwest Pennsylvania, a lot of upstate New York, Erie, Pennsylvania, you know what's coming. Watertown, New York, same deal. You guys are about to get thumped with lake effect snow over the next several days as this cold air just runs over the lakes. At some point, these lakes are going to get completely frozen over, but we're not there yet. Remember to drop your city below. I'm giving personalized forecasts in tomorrow's video. I want to help you specifically prepare for what's coming. But here's what has me really concerned. Check out what's building up in Canada right now. Another big, anomalously high-pressure system is developing. The European model here has another huge blast of cold air that might actually rival the one we just experienced. And of course, it does link up with a storm system in the Gulf of Mexico. Now here's where things get interesting. This next storm looks a little bit more dynamic than the one we just saw in terms of its potential power. It's definitely smaller in terms of geographic coverage, but the intensity could be higher. Here we go again. Another potential winter storm impacting parts of the south as we go into Saturday, January 31st. This actually starts, I would say, back on Thursday, January 30th, as some rain in Louisiana, some snow showers in the Ohio Valley. Everything links up and phases together over the Appalachian Mountains. And once again, we potentially see a significant nor'easter starting to form as we go into Saturday. Little Rock, you just broke a snowfall record that had stood since 1899. Now you could be looking at another round. Memphis, same situation. You guys dealt with ice. Now we're talking about potentially more winter weather. Here's heavy snow potentially developing in the Piedmont region of the Carolinas, up into the Appalachian Mountains. Charlotte, you could be in the bullseye for this. Raleigh, same thing. And then boom. This could turn into a significant blizzard for the Northeast as we go into Sunday, February 1st. Now, do I think this is going to happen exactly like this? Probably not. But this is a very strong signal for a major winter storm, and we're seeing this signal about 6 days out, just like we had 6 days before the last storm. Let me back up for a second and explain what I mean by that. Don't pay too close attention to the fine details of where exactly the snow falls right now. But there is definitely going to be another storm that we have to track here. And it's coming with another big-time blast of cold air streaming down into the southeast. And once again, this one could potentially be even more intense than the one we're dealing with now. Yes, this could throw snow back into the Carolinas, back into Kentucky, back into Tennessee, West Virginia. As of right now, it looks like the focus area should be the immediate coastal region from the Carolinas up through the Northeast. Keep watching because the most important part is coming up. This affects everyone, even if you don't get snow. Now, here's the thing. This storm system is going to shift back and forth hundreds of miles over the next couple of days in the model runs. So once again, don't get too emotionally attached to any single model run. Right now, the GFS is showing the storm, but it's a lot farther east. The European model is showing it much farther west with much more snow on many more people. That's a huge difference. We'll know which one is right by tomorrow morning's model runs. If the GFS verifies, you're looking at mostly a coastal event. But if the Euro is correct, we're talking about significant snow from Louisiana all the way up to Maine. The GFS puts a lot less snow on a lot less people. It still forms a pretty strong nor'easter-type storm, but it just stays out to sea for the most part. But if we remember this last storm, The GFS was kind of terrible at figuring out where the storm was going to be. It was wrong the whole time. The European model was definitely much closer to being right. So I don't know how much stock we should put into the American model right now, but it's definitely worth mentioning as we start tracking our next immediate storm. Make sure you check back tomorrow when we have the latest model data because things could shift significantly. All right, let me get specific with you guys on what we're seeing temperature-wise over the next several days because this matters for everyone. Birmingham, Alabama. Tomorrow you're looking at a high of 28 degrees. Wednesday, maybe 32. Thursday, back down to 29. Montgomery, you're slightly warmer, but not by much. 31 tomorrow, 34 Wednesday. Mobile, down on the Gulf Coast, you're looking at 36 tomorrow. That's cold for you guys. How about you folks in Jackson, Mississippi, with that 10-degree temperature tomorrow morning? Your high tomorrow is only going to be like 26 degrees. Gulfport, down on the coast, you're looking at the mid-30s. Hattiesburg, about 30 degrees for your high. New Orleans, unfortunately for you guys, you're looking at a high tomorrow of only 38 degrees. That's well below average. Baton Rouge, 36. Lafayette, 35. Lake Charles, 34 degrees. Over in Arkansas, Little Rock, you just got crushed with snow. You broke that record from 1899. Tomorrow you're looking at a high of 24 degrees with all that snow on the ground. Fort Smith, 26. Fayetteville, up in the northwest corner, 23 degrees. Jonesboro, 22. Memphis, Tennessee, you're looking at 26 degrees tomorrow. That's your high, with a low in the morning of 11 degrees. Chattanooga, you're looking at 28 for a high. Knoxville, 26. Johnson City, up in the northeast, 24 degrees. Actually, I need to clarify that. Those are the highs for Tuesday. Wednesday, we might creep up just a little bit, but then Thursday we're right back down again. This cold is relentless. Atlanta, you're looking at 32 degrees tomorrow, just barely at freezing for your high temperature. Macon, 34. Augusta, 33. Savannah, down near the coast, you're looking at 41. Columbus, 31. Athens, 29 degrees. Keep watching because in just 2 minutes I'm revealing the shocking snow probabilities for this weekend that nobody is talking about. Columbia, South Carolina, you're looking at 36 tomorrow. Charleston, 43. You're a little warmer being right on the coast. Greenville, up in the upstate, 30 degrees. Myrtle Beach, 42. Charlotte, North Carolina, 34 degrees tomorrow. Raleigh, 37. Greensboro, 33. Wilmington, on the coast, 44. Asheville, up in the mountains, you're looking at 28 degrees. You guys still have a lot of snow on the ground from this last storm. Now let me talk about what's happening up in Virginia. Richmond, you're looking at 38 degrees tomorrow. Norfolk, 42. Roanoke, 31. Charlottesville, 34. Virginia Beach, 43 degrees. Washington, D.C., you're looking at 39 tomorrow. Baltimore, 37. We're talking about well below average temperatures across the entire mid-Atlantic. Philadelphia, you got hammered with snow. You're sitting with close to 1.5 feet in many areas. Tomorrow you're looking at a high of 34 degrees. That snow is not going anywhere. Allentown, 32. Reading, 33. Harrisburg, 34. Pittsburgh, you're looking at 28 degrees tomorrow. You guys are cold. Erie, up on the lake, you're looking at 25. And you've got more lake effect snow coming. Scranton, 31. Wilkes-Barre, 32. New York City, you're looking at 35 degrees tomorrow. You've got significant snow on the ground. Long Island, same situation. Albany, up in the capital region, you're looking at 24 degrees. Syracuse, 26. Buffalo, 23. Rochester, 25. Boston, we talked about you potentially hitting 2 feet of snow. Tomorrow, you're looking at a high of 29 degrees. Providence, Rhode Island, 30. Hartford, Connecticut, 31. Portland, Maine, you're looking at 26 degrees. Now here's what's really crazy about this. Even down in Florida, you guys are not escaping this cold. Jacksonville, you're looking at a high tomorrow of 51 degrees. That's actually pretty cold for you. Tallahassee, 53. Gainesville, 54. Orlando, you're looking at 62. Tampa, 65. Miami, you're the warmest at 72. But even you guys are going to feel some cooler air filtering in later this week. Let me tell you why this matters. We've got this massive temperature gradient set up from north to south. Whenever you have that kind of gradient, whenever you have that much temperature difference over a short distance, that's when storms can really explode. That's the energy source for these big winter storms. And here's the part that honestly has me concerned. We're not just talking about one cold shot. We're talking about wave after wave after wave of cold air coming down from Canada. This pattern is locked in place. Right now, the GFS model is showing this pattern continuing well into mid-February. The European model is showing the same thing. These models are in agreement on the big picture pattern, which gives me higher confidence that we're going to be dealing with this for a while. But where they're not in agreement is on the specifics of this next storm system. And that tells me we're still in that window where things could shift pretty dramatically. Let me jump over to the Midwest and Great Lakes because you guys are dealing with your own set of problems. Chicago, you're looking at 18 degrees tomorrow morning. Your high is only going to be 26. Milwaukee, 16 in the morning, 24 for a high. Detroit, 19 in the morning, 27 for a high. Indianapolis, you're looking at 15 tomorrow morning. Daytime high of 28. Cincinnati, 17 in the morning, 30 for a high. Columbus, Ohio, 18 in the morning, 29 for a high. Cleveland, on the lake, you're looking at 20 in the morning, 28 for a high, and you've got lake effect snow coming. Minneapolis, you guys are used to the cold, but this is cold even for you. 9 degrees tomorrow morning, daytime high of 19. Duluth, up on Lake Superior, 3 degrees tomorrow morning, 3 degrees. Daytime high of 13. Fargo, North Dakota, you're looking at -2 tomorrow morning. That's 2 below zero. Daytime high of 9. Des Moines, Iowa, 12 degrees tomorrow morning. Daytime high of 23. Omaha, Nebraska, 14 in the morning, 26 for a high. Sioux City, 10 in the morning, 22 for a high. Kansas City, you're looking at 19 tomorrow morning. Daytime high of 32. Wichita, 23 in the morning, 37 for a high. Topeka, 20 in the morning, 33 for a high. St. Louis, you're looking at 20 degrees tomorrow morning. Daytime high of 31. Springfield, Missouri, 21 in the morning, 32 for a high. Now let me shift over to Texas because you guys got hit hard with this last system. Dallas, we talked about you already. 16 degrees tomorrow morning. That's brutal for Dallas. Fort Worth, same thing. Arlington, Plano, all the suburbs, you're all in the teens tomorrow morning. Your daytime highs are only going to be in the low 30s. Houston, down on the Gulf Coast, you're looking at 32 degrees tomorrow morning. Just at freezing. Your high is going to be 48. That's cold for Houston. Galveston, right on the water. You're slightly warmer at 36 in the morning, 52 for a high. San Antonio, you're looking at 34 tomorrow morning, high of 52. Austin, 32 in the morning, 50 for a high. Corpus Christi, down on the coast, 38 in the morning, 56 for a high. El Paso, way out in West Texas, you're actually not as cold, 34 tomorrow morning, 54 for a high. Lubbock, up on the high plains, 23 in the morning, 42 for a high. Amarillo, 19 in the morning, 39 for a high. Hang on, I misspoke earlier about Nashville not getting above freezing. Let me clarify that. Nashville will get above freezing during the daytime hours on some of these days, but the mornings are going to be brutal, and we're not seeing any sustained warmth. We might touch 34 or 35 for a few hours in the afternoon, but then we're right back down into the teens overnight. Don't skip ahead. You need to hear this next part about what happens when you combine this cold with potential power outages. Unfortunately for the folks who are still without power, this continued cold is life-threatening. We're looking at 847,000 people still in the dark this morning. Nashville lost nearly half of its power grid due to 3/4 of an inch of ice. Mississippi got hit with its worst ice storm since 1994. Some of these people won't see power for weeks. When you're sitting in a house with no heat and it's in the single digits outside, that is an emergency situation. Pipes are freezing. People are at risk of hypothermia in their own homes. If this next storm comes through and knocks out more power, we're talking about compounding disasters. You've got people who are already struggling, already cold, already dealing with damage from the last storm, and now we're potentially throwing another winter storm at them. That's why it's so important to stay informed. That's why I'm asking you to check back tomorrow. The forecast could change. We could get better news. We could get worse news. But you need to know. Now, let me talk about what's happening with this potential storm for this weekend. And I want to stress, things could still change. This is still 5 days out, but the signal is strong enough that we need to start paying attention. This storm system starts developing on Thursday, January 30th. We're going to see some rain breaking out across Louisiana, Lake Charles, Lafayette, Baton Rouge. You're looking at rain Thursday afternoon and evening. That rain is going to be moving northeast. By Thursday night, that rain starts to transition to snow as it moves up into Arkansas and Tennessee. Little Rock, you could be looking at snow again Thursday night into Friday morning. Memphis, same situation. Nashville, you're cold enough that this could come in as all snow for you. As we go into Friday, this system is going to be moving up the Appalachian chain. We're going to see snow breaking out across the higher elevations of Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Asheville, Boone, Roanoke. You guys could see significant snow Friday into Friday night. Now here's where the models start to disagree. The European model takes this storm and really develops it as it moves up the coast Friday night into Saturday. It shows heavy snow breaking out from eastern North Carolina up through Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and into New England. We're talking about the potential for another foot or more of snow in some of these areas. Boston, you just got buried. The European model is showing you could get hit again. New York City, same thing. Philadelphia, you're in the potential zone. But the GFS model takes this storm and keeps it much farther offshore. It shows some snow for the immediate coast, but most of it stays out over the ocean. That's a massive difference in outcomes. If the European model is right, we're looking at a crippling blizzard for millions of people from the Carolinas to Maine. If the GFS is right, it's more of a glancing blow with lighter amounts. Check back tomorrow because we're going to have much better data by tomorrow morning. The overnight model runs are going to give us a clearer picture. These models are not in agreement right now, which tells me the forecast is still uncertain. Now, I don't want to scare you. This might not happen the way the European model is showing, but if it does, here's what you need to know. This would be hitting Saturday into Sunday, which is a weekend. That's actually somewhat fortunate because people won't be trying to commute. But it also means if you lose power again, it could be longer before crews can get to you. The cold air that's going to be in place is going to make this snow very powdery and easy to blow around. We could be looking at whiteout conditions in some areas. Travel could become impossible. And once again, this is coming on the heels of a storm we just dealt with. People are tired. Resources are stretched thin. Road crews have been working around the clock. Salt supplies are getting low in some areas. Charlotte, if you get hit with this, you could be looking at 6 to 12 inches of snow based on the European model. Raleigh, same range. Richmond, 8 to 14 inches. Washington, D.C., 10 to 16. Baltimore, 12 to 18. Philadelphia, 14 to 20. New York City, 12 to 20. Boston, another 12 to 20 inches on top of what you already have. But again, that's if the European model is correct. The GFS shows much less. We need to see how the models evolve over the next 24 to 48 hours. Let me talk about the cold that's coming behind this storm, because even if the storm doesn't materialize exactly as modeled, the cold is definitely coming. There's very high confidence in another Arctic blast arriving this weekend. We're looking at temperatures that could be 5 to 15 degrees below average for pretty much the entire eastern half of the country. Some areas could see temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below average. That means places like Atlanta could be struggling to get out of the 20s for daytime highs. Nashville, same thing. Even down into northern Florida, we're talking about temperatures in the 40s and low 50s when you should be in the 60s and 70s. This cold is going to last. We're not talking about a 1 or 2 day event. We're talking about a prolonged period of below average temperatures that could stretch well into February, Almost there, and the best part is coming up in 1 minute. I'm going to tell you exactly what to watch for in tomorrow's forecast. All right, let me talk about lake effect snow because this is going to be a big deal over the next several days. Whenever you get cold Arctic air flowing over the relatively warmer Great Lakes, you get these intense snow bands that can dump incredible amounts of snow in very localized areas. Buffalo, you guys know this drill. You could see another couple feet of snow over the next week from lake effect. Watertown, same thing. Erie, Pennsylvania, you're in the zone. Cleveland, you'll see some. The Upper Peninsula of Michigan, you guys are going to get crushed. Marquette, Houghton, you could see measurements in feet, not inches. This lake effect machine is going to be cranked up to maximum over the next week because that cold air is just going to keep coming and coming and coming. Now, there's one thing I want to mention that I haven't talked about much yet. The pattern we're in right now is very similar to patterns we've seen in the past that have produced multiple significant winter storms. We saw this kind of pattern in 2014, 2015, we saw it in 2010, 2011, we saw it in the 1970s. When we get into these locked patterns where the jet stream sets up in a certain configuration, it can persist for weeks or even months. And during those periods, we can see storm after storm after storm. I'm not saying that's definitely what's going to happen here, but the potential is there. We could be talking about multiple winter storms over the next few weeks. Each one might not be as big as the one we just had, but the cumulative effect could be significant. Quick side note, I've been getting a lot of questions about why this is happening. Why are we seeing this pattern? The simple answer is the polar vortex. We have a lobe of the polar vortex that has displaced southward, and that's allowing this Arctic air to spill down into the United States. When will it end? When that polar vortex lobe retreats back north. When will that happen? We don't know exactly, but it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. All right, where was I? Let me wrap this up with the key takeaways. Number 1, it's going to stay cold. We're talking about well below average temperatures for pretty much the entire eastern half of the country through at least the first week of February. Number 2, we have another potential winter storm developing for this weekend. The European model is very aggressive with this. The GFS is much less so. We're going to have better data tomorrow. Number 3, if you still don't have power, this is a critical situation. Please seek shelter somewhere warm if you can. This prolonged cold is dangerous. Number 4, even if you're not in the path of the next storm, you're still going to be dealing with the cold. Make sure you're prepared. Check on your neighbors, especially elderly folks who might be struggling. Now, things could still change. We're still several days out from this next potential storm. The forecast could improve. It could also get worse. That's why you need to check back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'm revealing the exact cities that could see the heaviest snow from this weekend storm based on the latest overnight model runs. If you're anywhere from Louisiana to Maine, you absolutely need to see what the latest European model is showing. It's shifted significantly from this morning's run, and the changes are going to surprise a lot of people. Don't forget to comment your location before you leave. I want to give you personalized details for your specific city tomorrow. I'm reading every single one of these comments. Thank you for trusting me to keep you informed during this difficult weather pattern. I know a lot of you are dealing with really tough situations right now. Power outages, damage to your homes, disrupted lives. I'm thinking about you, and I'm going to keep providing you the best information I can. Next update is tomorrow morning around 9 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Things are changing rapidly, and you need to stay informed. Stay warm, stay safe, check on your neighbors, and I'll see you in the next video. We're going to get through this together.